Welcome back to Mac Talks of Football, and La Liga is back. The league is going to start today, and I'm here to make my prediction for the match day 1 in La Liga 25-26. A new season is going to begin, and every team would like to start the new season on a high, start the new season with a win. But unfortunately, not everyone is going to win. So let's go ahead and make our predictions for match day 1 in La Liga. The first game, it is Girona versus Rayo Vallecano. I think it's going to be a very a tough game. I think it's going to be a very hard fought game. Both of these teams would want to finish in that top 10, would want to fight for those European places. Vallecano had a great season last year. Girona had quite a bad season last year, and they barely survived a relegation. Girona are the home side. Their transfer business for both of these clubs has not been that good, to be very honest with you. And just because it's the first day and there are going to be a lot of nerves because of that, I think you can expect goals, but not that many. I think we are going to get a draw in this game, and we are not going to get that many goals as well. I'm going for a 1-1 draw between Girona and Vallecano. Up next, it's Villarreal versus Oviedo. Villarreal are going to be the home side. They are playing Champions League this season, so they had a really good end to the last season, and they would want to start this season on a high as well. They are playing the newly promoted Oviedo. Real Oviedo fans are going to come in. They are going to be loud. They are going to make their noises heard. But to be very honest with you, the difference in both of these teams is quite a lot, to be very honest with you. And I think it's not going to be a very happy start for Real Oviedo or for La Liga on match day. I think they are going to end up losing to Villarreal, and I'm going for a very comfortable 3-0 win for Villarreal. Then we have the Saturday games, Mallorca versus Barcelona. I mean, this is one of those games where it is because it's the first game of the season. Players are going to come back, and it's an away game for Barcelona. So this is one of those games where Barcelona might end up dropping the points, if I'm being very honest with you. I think it will be a very, very tough game, as scoring against Mallorca is not going to be quite easy. Mallorca had a really good season last year, and they would want to continue. They would hope they can start this season as in a good way as well. I think it will be a very, very tough game for Barcelona, if I'm being very honest with you, and I would not be surprised if they end up dropping the points. That is why I'm going for a draw. I am going for a 1-1 draw between Mallorca and Barcelona. Then you have Alaves versus Levante, two teams who I think are going to be in that relegation battle. Alaves barely survived relegation last year. Levante are going to be playing their first game back in La Liga. They were the champions last year, so they are going to come in looking really excited. Your fans are going to be really up for it. I think it'll be a very, very tough game. I think it'll be a very a hard fought game. I think you are going to see the reason why I think Levante are going to be safe this year, and why I think Alaves are going to end up going down. I just look, I keep on saying, I look at that Alaves squad and I just don't see where they are going to get the goals. Whereas Levante, I think they are going to have a successful season, and I think they are going to start a La Liga this year with a win. I think it will be a very hard fought win, but in the end I'm going for a very cheeky 1-0 win for Levante. Then you have Valencia versus Real Sociedad. I think this is going to be a really good game. These are two teams who I think are going to have a really interesting sort of season. Either they are going to be really, really good, or they are going to have end up having a really terrible season. And you cannot really predict what both of these teams are going to do. And in my opinion, that first game is going to be really, really crucial to how both of them start their season. I think it will be very interesting. I'm expecting goals in this game. I think it will be an entertaining game. I think it could turn out to be the best game on Saturday in La Liga, if I'm being very honest with you. And as I said, I'm expecting goals in this game, but I just don't see a winner, if I'm being very honest with you. I am going for a very hard 4-2 draw between Valencia versus Real Sociedad. Moving on to the Sunday games, it is Celta Vigo versus Getafe. Another one of those, feisty fixtures. We all know how hard it is to score against Getafe, but Celta being at home, they're having the season that they had last year, and the fans are going to be really up for it. A new season, with new hopes of doing something really special this year. Playing against a Getafe side, who again I think it's going to be a very tough season for them. I don't think you are going to see a beautiful football from Getafe, if I'm being very honest with you. And Celta Vigo would have to work really, really hard to get something out of this game, and I think they might be able to just nick it because they are the home side. I to be very honest, I just don't see Getafe really trying to go ahead and score the goals, if I'm being very honest, and that is why I'm going for a very hard fought 1-0 win for Celta Vigo. Up next, it is Athletic Club versus Sevilla. Athletic Club have not really had that much of a good transfer window, whereas Sevilla have brought in a couple of players that are really going to strengthen their squad. I think it will be a very interesting game. This is one of yet another one of those games we are going where you can expect goals in this game. If I'm being very honest, so I think it's going to be an entertaining game. Both of these teams like to play really good football, and I think that is why I expect goals in this game, just because Athletic Club are the home side, and it is very tough to beat them at their home stadium. I think they are going to make it in that. I'm going for a 2-1 win for Athletic Club. We finish off Sunday's game with Espanyol versus Atletico Madrid. Now, this is a very tricky one, to be very honest with you, because as I say, Atletico Madrid have brought in so many new players, and I have picked them for the title. I think they are going to win the title, and these are the type of games that Atletico Madrid really struggle with. The games that you expect them to win quite easily, they end up dropping the points, and Espanyol are going to make sure that they make Atletico's life a real tough, and they are going to make sure that they don't concede the goals, and they somehow can get something out of this game. But I just think with the players that Atletico Madrid already have in Solat, in Alvarez, and the new players that they have brought in as well. I mean, Baena, I think that is going to be one of the signings of the season. They have also brought in Raspadori as well, so they have that squad where they can really trouble, and I just don't see Espanyol being able to defend against that. I think they are going to end up losing, and I think in the end it's going to be a very comfortable 2-0 win for Atletico Madrid. Then we have Monday Night Football between Elche versus Real Betis. This is going to be a really good game. The atmosphere is going to be really good. It's a night game. It is a home game of a newly promoted side in Elche. The fans are really going to be loud. They are going to have their voices heard, but they are playing against a Real Betis side who have been really good. Their last season were amazing, and the signings that they have made, I think Real Betis are going to be a really surprise package this year. They finished 6th last year, and I think they are going to do much better this year as well. And I think they are going to start the season with a win. And unfortunately, the home fans of Elche, even though they are going to come in, a lot excited and whatnot, they are going to end up being disappointed. I think it is going to be a convincing win for Betis as well. I'm going for a 2-1 win for Real Betis. And final game of this match day is on Tuesday. It is a Real Betis versus it is Real Madrid, versus Osasuna, and I mean it is a tricky one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really impressed with Real Madrid's transfer window. They have brought in players that have really helped them in defense, but their midfield is still a problem in my opinion. And there are question marks on the attackers. You have Mbappe and you have Vini Jr. You shouldn't really have that many questions, but they are under new management at Xabi Alonso, because under Xabi Alonso they are going to be at the Bernabeu. And Osasuna, despite being a very tough side, and they making sure that they are not really easy to score against. I think it will be a very tough game for Real Madrid, but somehow they are going to get a win here, and because they are at the home side, that is the only reason why I'm going for a win, if I'm being very honest with you. I don't think it's going to be an easy game for them, but they have to work really hard, and I would not be surprised if Osasuna end up scoring first and then Real Madrid make a comeback and they end up winning the game at 2-1. That's it for me. These are my predictions for match day 1 in La Liga. Let me know what you guys think of my prediction, and make your predictions as well. I'm gonna do a review of the predictions after the match day ends. 1 point if my entire prediction along with the scoreline is correct, half a point if the prediction is correct but the scoreline is wrong, and we're gonna see how many points I can achieve at the end of every weekend this year. Last year it was a 50-50 thing. I'm hoping to get better this year, so you guys can play along with me. Make a prediction in the comment section below, and we'll see who has better predictions. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 550 subscribers before the end of the transfer window, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.